How does Paris rank in terms of costs of living worldwide? And how expensive is it to live in Paris as a family? Let's find out in this video. If you're new to my channel, I'm Camille Pierre from Happy Place Paris, Home Hunter and Relocation. I help expats rent, buy and live happily in their home in Paris. If this is you, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video every week. Early this year, a study from Mercer revealed that Paris was on the 47th position in terms of cost of living worldwide. Is Paris not that expensive after all? Let's examine the cost of living in Paris and the everyday life expenses as a family you can expect. On y va? To give you some context, I wanted to pull up some figures from the INSEE, the National Institute of Statistics in France. Every 5 years, the INSEE conducts a study on the family budget, budget de famille. Even if expenses vary according to the size, the location, the revenues, and the age of the members of the family, this study gives you a big picture of where your money will go. Before we start, do you have a general idea of how much you spent on an annual basis for your family? Tell me in the comments. In France, the average family spends 34,000 euros per year. But if we focus on the Paris area, it's 16% more than the average, as the standard of living is higher. You have to know that 32% of the families located in the Paris area are part of the most comfortable families financially in France. And how much do these families with the higher standard of living spend on an annual basis? It's 54% more than the average in France. With that said, now let's look at different costs of living on a daily basis. There are 3 major types of expenses for a family in Paris. First, it's housing. It represents 32% of expenses. It includes charges, electricity, gas, and small maintenance work. On average, you can expect to pay 160 euros per month for utilities. Rents are not included in the study, but if you want to find out more on rents in Paris, watch this video above. The second major expense is, of course, food and groceries. It represents 18% of the expenses of a family, including tobacco and alcohol. It's interesting to note that families in the Paris area tend to spend less on groceries and more on restaurants. The third major expense for families is transportation. In Paris, it represents 16% of the family budget. 1/3 is spent on public transport like train, RER, trams. For public transports, you can buy tickets by the unit or per month for adults and even per year for children. And less than 50% is spent on the purchase of a car, its maintenance and gas. For car expenses, expect to pay about 160 per liter for gas and around 200 euros per month for a parking space. And tell me, how do you plan to commute in Paris? By car or by public transports? Tell me in the comments. Now let's look at other secondary types of expenses you'll have as a family. Self-care, product and services. They represent 11% of the budget of the family. They include general expenses like haircuts, toothpaste, deodorants, leisure and culture. It represents 10% of global expenses. You'll spend more in Paris than in other French cities on cinemas, restaurants, theaters, and sports clubs. As secondary expenses, you'll also find health, clothing, and communication. For a visit to your general practitioner, you'll pay a minimum of 25 euros, from 35 to much more for a dress, about 30 euros per month for triple play, TV, internet, and phone. Did we mention education? Well, it's at the bottom of the list with 1% of the budget. If you're enrolling your kids in public schools, you'll only be paying for school supplies, books, and extra equipment. Prices vary according to the age of the child. Expenses for childcare depends on revenues. Private schools are of course more costly, and especially international schools. You can find out more on the Paris schools in the blog post I wrote on my website. I'll put the link to it below this video. Now, if you're seriously considering moving to Paris, check out this video to prepare before you arrive. If you're looking for some assistance in your relocation to Paris, save a seat for a kickoff session with me to discuss your project. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe to my channel and share it with your expat friends. And see you in the next video. À bientôt, merci!